Africa, stand up! Get up straight! This is your time! Let's go!
Welcome to the Tuntum Show. This episode is brought to you by EM Gold Wines in Tesano. They are the sole importers and distributors of 12 different brands of wine. They are from Italy and Spain. This is Montesanti Lime, 14%. This is Aronica from Spain also, which is 11%. And Monelico Loco from Italy, which is 11.5%. I'm Cyrus. Remember to comment, like, subscribe, and share if you find my content relevant. If not, forget about it. Let's go. So, ladies and gentlemen, today I'm happy to come your way again. This time I'm talking on a very important topic. It's Nigeria. And they are having their elections this month, 25th of February. The reason I'm so concerned about Nigeria is because I have so much love for the country. I have friends, I have people I've studied with in school, in Ghana and outside of Ghana. And there is so much potential in that country, and that makes me want to talk about it. Wow. Now, the first reason why I love Nigeria, okay, is because they are neighbors. They are just here, not far away from here. So you have to love your neighbor like you love yourself. And that is a very good principle. Beyond that, the friends that we have made, the business contacts that we have, all of that put together makes it even more easier to love them. And I love their charisma. Now, there's a very big challenge ahead of Nigeria in this month, in the elections that is ongoing, which is 25th of this month. Three things are going on. There is a faction that is looking for a young president who is aggressive, who is straight to the point, who can take the country from where it is now to a certain level. And there is another faction that is still with the old school system. They want their guy to be in president and it's business as usual. And there is this other faction which is saying, hey, we don't want to be a part of this. We want a divided Nigeria. We want to take our part of it and go our separate way. But because of those three conditions, I will go to bed every day and spend some time to pray for Nigeria. Because I know one thing for certain. If Nigeria doesn't get it right, Africa is in trouble. I'll explain why. Nigeria has 214 million people today living in Nigeria already. Imagine, okay, let's just oppose that to the population of Ghana, which is 30 million. Now, Ghana's 30 million is just a drop in the bucket compared to Nigeria. If there is any form of, political unrest or chaos in Nigeria, instantly the whole of the sub-region is in trouble. And when I say trouble, I mean real big trouble. Nigeria itself will be in trouble. Cameroon will be in trouble. Cote d'Ivoire will be in trouble. Togo, Benin, and Ghana will be in trouble. And I speak for Ghana in this circumstance. The reason is I know a lot of Nigerian friends, and I know how Nigerians see Ghana. For instance, if they pick up their bag and they want to travel outside of Nigeria to any African country nearby, the first country they consider is Ghana. So imagine if there is chaos in Nigeria and 50 million people walk from Nigeria into Ghana. Do you know what that happens to the economy of Ghana? Our food will be swallowed up. Water, road, transportation, accommodation, everything will come to a standstill. Why? Because there is unrest in one country. So it's a very significant country that we all have to keep an eye on. At the same time, they have such a huge market, which is exceptionally fantastic for business. This is because I've lived in a country like that before, and I'm talking about China, which is 6 times bigger than Nigeria in terms of population. China is more than 1 billion people. And what does for a country is this. I live in a small town called Chongqing. In Chongqing, they have about 27, 28 million people, okay, in one small province. What that means is, for example, if I live in a street in Accra, and in my street every morning I see 200 people use the street to work and 200 people walk back home on the same street, in Nigeria, instead of 200 people, you are looking at more than times 3 or times 4 of it, which is 800 people, 600 people walking down the same street. Meaning that if I'm selling any goods or I'm offering any service in that location, I have more opportunity to have or attract more people buying from me compared to the few number of people who will be using the same street in Ghana. And that is where the difference comes in. China has such a huge market already. So when they produce stuff, they are not quickly looking for international market. No. Because they have internal market, which is extremely huge. And that alone is money in itself. And that is one reason why I love Nigeria. One other thing. A lot of people get fooled. A lot of people get fooled thinking Nigeria doesn't have resources. And they only speak about the fuel, the oil that they have. I'll explain this to you well. And I hope you catch it. Nigeria has everything any other African country has. But this time, they have it in abundance. I mean in abundance. They have more lands, they have more gold, they have more bauxite, they have more everything, including diamonds, and including human resource than any African country. The only reason why Ghana and Cote d'Ivoire is the biggest in cocoa production is because Nigeria never, paid attention to it. The day Nigeria pays attention to farming, like cocoa, I promise you this, Ghana, Cote d'Ivoire put together will not be up to the task. Immediately, give it 10 years, Nigeria will overtake these two countries put together. This is how huge they are. But it's just because the oil money came and everybody was swayed towards that direction. And it makes it look as if they don't have any of these other resources. They have more gold than Ghana. I'll say that also. They have more gold than Ghana, even though Ghana currently has the highest production of gold in the whole of Africa. Nigeria can easily overtake us if they concentrate on that. So they have so many advantages going for them. But at the same time, they have so many challenges that they have to overcome. Nigeria, I know you claim to be the big brother of Africa. You see, that statement you used to make in the past, it was just verbal. It was just words. I'll challenge you, Nigeria. If you want to be a big brother of Africa, this is the time. Prove it, not just with words. Prove it with industries. Prove it with bigger economy. Prove it with factories. Prove it with electricity, with security, with economic stability. Prove it, let the rest of Africa truly see that, yes, this is the giant of Africa. Until then, don't be in a hurry to conclude that you are the giant of Africa. We love you and we pray for you. We want you to be successful. And myself, I always go to bed every night praying for Nigeria. And I hope they get it right. Because once Nigeria gets it right, the whole of Africa will get it right. We need such a country like Nigeria at this time to step up. Nigeria, stand up. You need to stand up. You need to lift up the standard. You need to lift up the game. Now you see how Nigerian music is penetrating the West. When they stood up, because they have the numbers, it is able to push quickly into the rest of the world, into Europe, into North America. This is the same thing that will happen the day Nigeria's politics and the economy begins to rise. And that is what we want to see from Nigeria. We love you. Big shout out going on to Okayode and Tony and my main man, Thomas, and my schoolmates. I want to give a big shout out to you guys all. And Oga Martin, I know you'll be watching this. And I'm very sure you'll be proud of me. There's a lot more coming on this show. And pretty soon we'll be giving out a lot of interviews. So we are throwing this challenge out there, especially for politicians in Nigeria. We want to have you come onto our studio. We want to ask you some very important questions because some of us don't understand. The youth of Africa don't understand. We see your people everywhere, and we see your people doing a lot of very, very strange businesses. Everybody knows about it. From 419 to crime to Ashawo and all that. We see them do it. And we ask ourselves, what is happening in Nigeria? What is going on? I spoke to a Nigerian friend the other day and he said to me, Cyrus, you know what? If you ever lived in Nigeria, I promise you even get worse because you have to survive. Everybody wants what you have. And there's a lot of people who wants what you have. It's a crowded space and everybody must survive. So I kind of understand. But the government must rise up. Nigeria must stand up so that the rest of Africa can see a shining star coming out of the West. Until we come here again, keep on subscribing and commenting and liking it and sharing on top of it all. Thank you. Bye-bye.